Wealth Magazine's Business Access is brought to you by...
Start your Scotia Bridge retirement plan today.
Adam and Eve Salon and Spa.
Coming up on Business Access, the exciting corporate mingle hosted by the United Nations Women Empowerment Arm, the best of the Observer Food Awards, and Yoni Epstein, CEO of Island Outsourcers. Thanks for joining me on Wealth Magazine's Business Access. I'm Naomi Cowan. On today's episode, we have Yoni Epstein, founder and CEO of Island Outsourcing. Hello, Yoni.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
So, Yoni, you are a foodie.
Yeah.
How did I know that?
I saw you on my LinkedIn page. It's one of the persons that looked at it.
Good, good.
As a child growing up, every Sunday at my grandmother's house was Sunday dinner that was cooked for the family. I didn't really get into food at that point other than eating it. But as I was going through my career, studying hospitality in university, I decided the track that I wanted to take within hospitality was in fact culinary arts. I like the more technical aspect of school. We're working in a kitchen from 7 a.m. to 1 in the afternoon, 5 days a week, doing different things, whether it be international cuisine, American cuisine, European, that kind of stuff.
Did you lead by example in those days?
I would say yes. I went to high school in Mandeville at Bel Air, and at that point I was more involved in sports, football and track and field. I look at myself as one of the faster white boys in Jamaica. Used to run 110.6, which was pretty fast for that age there. And I used to go to the stadium and everybody used to say, "Oh, white boy, you know, what you going there?" And I'd reach there before the finish line before them. And I said, "What, you can't run." But business was more my forte, and I'll leave the running to Usain Bolt.
When did you see the entrepreneur in you come alive?
As far back as, you know, myself and brothers used to stand by the golf course and pick up the golf balls that are left by, make lemonade, provide a service to the golfers that were playing. I mean, we were 9 or 10 in those days. All the way coming up through university, decided that we wanted a reason to be able to party. Parents weren't giving you enough cash to go and have a good time, so a couple of friends and myself, we started a party in Miami called Caribbean Flavor. And in those days, it was right at the beginning of when the party scene was just kicking off in Miami from a Jamaican perspective. And we had a clientele that was, you know, Jamaican, Caribbean-wide, Antiguan, Trinidadian, and everybody wanted to partner with us because we had, you know, they were just focusing on Jamaica and we were going for the whole region. So we had really good parties and that was a fun time for us.
And that took you on through college?
Yeah, went to FIU first and then went to Johnson & Wales where I studied the culinary arts. And then from there, Adam Stewart, who I know you've had on your show before, he called me up and he says, "Look, you know, the Unique Vacations, the representative for Sandals wants to start a call center in Jamaica. And you should come down, think about coming back to Jamaica, live in Montego Bay and get this going." So at that time, you know, I was really looking a reason to come back to Jamaica, get out of Miami. And I always knew, even when I left for university, that I always wanted to come back home.
But you really studied culinary arts.
When I was in university, I actually worked in restaurants and I worked on the line cooking. And I mean, it's in a sense, it's similar. There's similarities to a call center because when you're in a restaurant, on a busy restaurant on a Friday night, and that tape is just running, and you have 15 ticker tapes lined up, and you're running through as quickly as possible because you had the appetizers out, and you have 10 minutes between the appetizers to get the main courses out, or else you're going to have pissed off clients, and then the waiter's going to be giving stuff away and cussing the kitchen because they're not doing their job quick enough. So in many ways, there's a lot of similarities to the call center because with influx of inbound calls, you have your team set up and you have to manage their times and their breaks and their lunches and, you know, be efficient in order to have a good ratio of answering calls. So I started as an agent. When I came to Jamaica, I actually started as a supervisor, quickly moved to assistant manager, And then from there I got asked to go to the UK to restructure the call center that they had over there. Was supposed to be for 2 months. And then they asked me, do you want to stay for longer? I said, absolutely. I mean, you're in England, and I'd never been to England before. It was an amazing experience.
So describe the scope of what you did at Sandals. How many people, how many countries were you connected to?
Well, the call center operated in Jamaica, US, Canada, and the UK. And then shortly thereafter, we started one in St. Lucia. So in managing different people in all those different countries, you have different personalities, you have different cultures. So understanding each different culture as to how you can work your teams to achieve the same goal was probably, I would say, the toughest job, but easily overcome in time, because I like people. I like what I do because and you're dealing with a lot of people. So understanding individuals and understanding them and what they do and how they do it is part of my forte.
How long was this?
I was with them for 9 years. I would say it's a lot of fun. I'm very, very close friends with the family, so when I decided to move on, it was very, very well supported. We found a replacement, and at that point, it was time to leave and start Island Outsourcers. Island Outsourcers is a contact center that manages outsourced inbound and outbound calls, sales and customer service for several different companies within several different industries, mostly from North America. I saw the abilities that our Jamaicans have within this industry, and ICT BPO is truly the propellant for growth here in Jamaica. So knowing my abilities, knowing what the length and breadth of the industry was globally, I decided that it was time to venture off onto my own.
Where is Yoni at right now as it regards to Island Outsourcers?
Well, the excitement that started then is a different excitement to where you are today, because then was, myself and my wife, who's my partner, we were looking at business plans. We're looking at how we're going to build out the facility, where we're going to find the cubicles and the different levels of equipment that we're using in the business, to actually building it out, seeing that process coming to having your first hiring class and finding the people that you want to hire for the first client that we won, to then now growing it. And in less than a year, we have 100 employees working in our call center for different clients. We're kind of developing our own look and feel. I mean, when we were deciding how we're going to build out the space and how we're going to set up the recreation room for the employees, we wanted to make sure that the production floor was business-like. We have our branding on the floor, as well as our 4 Ys, which is what we have is envisioned as our vision and mission statement. We didn't want some long vision and mission statement, so my wife actually went to a function with the CEO of Puma, and they used 4 words to depict their company, and she said, we need to find 4 words. Nice. And we found quality in our staff, in our network, in our business, integrity, reliability, and family.
What other businesses is your family involved in?
Well, my wife runs the Branson Center for Entrepreneurship. Okay. So, she lives and breathes entrepreneurship every day of life. My father works for Marksman Security. He's the managing director. My mother is an interior decorator. And if you go back to my grandparents, they owned the largest bearing business in Jamaica, bearings and accessories, which is still run by my uncles today.
Having that wealth of knowledge within your family is such a huge benefit. But for Jamaicans that don't have easily accessible resources, what advice would you give them?
I mean, I can tell you from the Branson Center perspective, if you have a business and you're looking to grow and you don't have access to relationships, the Branson Center provides that for you. So that is a great hub for someone that is looking to grow their business or to meet persons that they would normally never have met in their life. Successful business persons, men and women that come and speak to them on their path and how they achieve their path. One thing in business and being an entrepreneur, there's no right or wrong path. You have to just go at it all the time. Some things are going to work, some things are not going to work. You're going to make money on some, you're going to lose money on some. how you carry yourself and you spread that vision to your team members is really what makes you successful.
You are clearly a natural leader since high school and in your business. What do you think makes you a great leader?
The drive to see success, and success is defined by developing a team and seeing them grow. You know, one of the greatest things for me and how I depict success in our business is I see employees that have come in taking taxi, and after being with us for some time, they end up owning a car, they end up owning a house, and all the things that they never thought they would ever have. We've been able to provide that. And to me, that is true success, helping to provide wealth for our employees. Yeah.
What's family life for you right now?
Family life is great. We just had a baby, a little girl named Elle. She's almost 8 weeks old. So, you know, sleepless nights and fun stuff right now. But, you know, every day she grows older, it just, you know, adds more fun to being married, to having a child, to having a family, and really taking life to that next step.
And if you could create a mission statement for your family, what would it be?
Live life to its fullest.
And the word wealth, what does it mean to you?
Wealth has several different meanings, in my opinion. I think there's wealth in the success of your employees, as wealth in the success of the business as how you grow your business. To me is knowledge, the ups and downs, what you learn along the way, the goods, the bads, the uglies, is what I think is my definition of wealth.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Looking forward to the growth of the BPO industry. Thanks for getting the locomotive rolling. All right.